Greetings, community. It's me, Kevin, Entropy Comics, and I hope you're doing well on this Saturday. It is Saturday, right? Saturday. I got a boy over there playing video games.
Genshin Impact, for any of you who are wondering.
Yeah, he's a gamer and a half. So me, I have a little bit of coffee. I just finished.
Ooh.
With those bags and boards, I will next start on Mylites. And after that, it will be BCW. You may be going, wait, why the difference? Because I use fullbacks with the Mylites.
Mad Mike, Las Cruces. Hey, Las Cruces has been here for every stream this morning.
Las Cruces is a supporter and a half, and I so appreciate you. I really do. And Mike, man, you're the bomb, dude. One day I'm actually gonna make it out there to you. Kai and I did have, we were planning on going out there that one time.
Oh yeah, he's close.
Yeah, he's out there in Bakersfield. So one day, man, I can't wait. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So. And these are the boards. This is my second purchase of these. I will end up, I guess, if you haven't seen before, giving you a debut of what these are. If you have seen before, you probably know what that might be. Don't want to get into that one yet. What I want to start with is regressing back to the Mylites and the fullbacks. I'm going to start, you know what? Actually, I want to check these things out. I'm going to open up. This is my first time playing with these bags. I usually end up doing Mylites. It's just a preference, not for any reason other than the fact of availability. I have found that the BCW are on average anywhere from $2 to $5 cheaper for the same amount of purchase, in the sense of the quantity is 50 bags. So that's definitely advantageous in the sense of if you're trying to save a couple bucks over a course of, many purchases, it's seems essentially the same. I'm seeing down the edge, there's these little notches in the bag, which I find to be interesting in the making of the bag. I wonder if those are weak points in the seam. I can even feel it all the way down. I don't know if that goes on the run of the bags. I don't know if I'm also being over analytical, but I do want to make sure that you receive what I can give to you. Thank you very much, Gary, for being here. And for any and all information that I may be able to give to you. So it's lesser on the successive run. It might have just been something that was chopping in on the batch when they were sealing them up down the seam. Okay. I like the actual quality. There's no gas smell off the petroleum. I like that. Maybe going, did he just really smell the bags? I did just smell the bags. Most people understand that you will get a gassing off. The last thing that you actually need is, increased gassing. You already know that your books themselves will gas off. That's why when you get your books graded, there's actually runs inside of your grading encapsulation that allow the gassing to be, that's why you can't have a total airproof encapsulation, because the gassing would actually start damaging. One of the rectifications that were being made during the time that they were doing that is they want a full encapsulation, but they found that by doing that, it wasn't allowed any breathing, which is not good. So with I guess I love these bags. Mylites is my preference, even if it is a little bit more, but there is a little look difference. I would say BCW is a little clearer. That getting back to the point, that they end up putting in like a little bit of material into the books during the encapsulation to absorb those gases. So that is not the practice anymore by either major company. Okay. I will do what I said I was going to use, being that I'm liking the clear quality of the BCW over the Mylites. I will end up using the Mylites with the fullbacks, and then I'll end up using the BCW with my other boards. So, news. I have a bunch, but so much that I end up doing I did a hectic work week. So my brain isn't all quite there during my hours. One of the things I definitely can recall right now that I want to speak to everyone about was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin. I am a turtle fan. Beyond that, the information is what I want to give to you. For those of you that are turtle fans, this definitely affects you. If you're reading The Last Ronin, you know that there were delays, for various reasons. I'm not going to get into that. At the same point, the overall goal was essentially, according to just my interpretation, this is just how I was perceiving the information that was being given to me at the time, to have all the books out in a course of roughly 6 to 8 months. It was known that there was going to possibly be some time. As far as the publishers, I'm not certain if they took into account that even if there was another push, it could be as long as a year. We've seen this happen with, what is it, DC with Doomsday Clock. We've seen it with a various thing. I think it took 13 months for Spider-Man Abrams version. These happen. Getting at point. I know I've been milking this cow. May. It looks like May is going to end up being the third issue of The Last Ronin coming out. I can almost say for certain. I personally am over 90% certain that this is when it's going to happen. I am not the publisher. All fingers are pointing towards May for Ronin 3. So what I'm getting at is Ronin 4. If we're already looking for a 2-month push, take that in consideration and work all that math out yourself, how it could be. Well, all we can do is speculate on exactly how it's released. What else? Me personally, I know that I've been able to work with some other people, even outside of the comic thing. I have a buddy of mine. I don't think I told anyone. I play music. Buddy of mine approached me with some of the things that I was doing with the comic community, and said, "Hey, how would that work with us in the music industry, and how could we create something different that's never been done before, and or utilize what you've done in the comic community in the music industry, so we can work something out?" I didn't realize that this guy was actually sucking me back in. I only play music now as just a hobby. And I just jam in my own garage. I've not had any really want to get back into the music industry. But I think a buddy of mine just sucked me back in, man. Just when you thought you were out. No. It's going to be interesting to work with a friend of mine in that. I'm not getting too far in that. What I'm saying is, because of some of the things that I've been able to work with people, introduce, it's caught the attention of other people outside of our community. And I think that's pretty neat to know that we're having, as a whole, a community influence on a greater, we're having a greater impact on a bigger scale than just our own community, which I thought was pretty cool. Back to comics. Stray Dogs comes out this Wednesday. What's today? Saturday. Like I said, my recommendation, if you're into kind of a horror style, storyline, You like a Pixar Disney style art. You like the idea of meshing, Silence of the Lambs with a almost 101 Dalmatian style movie or Lady and a Tramp type thing. This is for you. This is a wild ride. This is going to be. I've already seen issues 1 through 5 of, now I can say, the limited edition 100 print run of. I've seen the lenticular 100 print run. I've seen I think it's a 250 print run of the 1 through 5 limited edition wanted posters for Stray Dogs, and then I've seen all the movie homages, which will be your cover B, and I've seen, that I can recall, 4 of the 5 issues for cover A. I have been privy to some of the information with the book. You can actually find online, type in Stray Dogs Image Comics, you'll get in YouTube, you'll get a little animation run of what this is about. I can't even remember right now off the top of my head who it was already picked up by. Definitely a major studio has already picked it up as far as securing the rights, in the sense of the whole option thing. It's beyond that. Option just means that someone will run in, they'll secure the rights, and they usually just don't develop it. It just means that they're securing the idea of having the rights to develop it. You can't develop everything that you option. Easily, a major company will option 100, things, let's say, ideas, in the case of storylines. Reality is, especially in a time of COVID, no one has the money to go ahead and develop it. We're only now getting back to work. And only the confidence now is coming back to the investors to allow money to be spent on movies. It was taking a long time to be, hey, TK, how you be? To convince people, investors, to put more money into the idea of pumping out movies. Hence, one of the reasons why some of the movies haven't been coming out is, one, the investors had already invested in a movie, and you already have the movie, and it's a decent one. You can't put it out knowing that you ain't gonna have a crowd there and get your investment back. That was one of the reasons why the delay. There was also deals that were being made with major, HBO cinemas type stuff. That was to offset the costs and losses and be able to offer an advantage to these corporations, companies, to go ahead and stream it on their services, to be able to assist in some of the loss, recoup some of it, get some of the money to the investors, bring a demographic to a company, let's say HBO, cinema, whatever, that would not normally get that demographic, only because to assist in the fact that they're not able to get people over into the major, movie theaters. All this is working out in the favor of one another because, well, under the umbrella of how things are done, it's all divvied out that way. If you follow the way money works, you end up seeing this, oh, wow, one business owns these 6 different yeah, it's the way how things work out. So AMC, you end up seeing as AMC, or end up, other channels and stuff. This works out advantageously when you diversify that way. You can go ahead and, one, take money from one pile and invest it in others, as far as taking money that you're getting on a regular show of TV and put it into the movies, or even giving money back to the investors that they put into a movie that was already developed 3 years ago, waiting to be released a year and a half ago, and still waiting for something to happen. I mean, what is he getting out of all this? Money is finally starting to be put back to Stray Dogs, and because of which, it wouldn't surprise me that they end up doing a full storyboard out with a like a preliminary animation run that they go ahead and find out, just to get spitball, just to see where everyone's at with the whole thing and how they would tweak it when they go into full production. They do these test runs with a small group of people just to see how, when they put the real money into it, how much they have to put in and where to put it. Do they make it more horrific? Do they lighten it up?
We got TK. We got Gary B.
Yeah, we got a couple people hanging out with us. We got Mad Mike and the Crucis. So that what I'm getting at with all that is, yes, I do believe I've already put money into, and so I'm just speaking out of biasness, into the fact that stray dogs is a thing. I also am most privy to the fact that these individuals live in the area, and I got to speak to them on what's being developed, the deals that they've already made with some of the local LCSs, as far as the exclusivity of some of the drops of some of the covers, all this. We'll see what transpires. I'm really curious because I like the story. The story's freaking cool. Other news. Between King and Black and Venom 35 hitting, there's a lot of people not talking about as much as I thought they would be talking about, which is, what do people believe that Donny Cates is going to be doing next? I'm asking you directly right now. What do you believe Donny Cates is going to be doing next for Marvel? Do you think he's going to be jumping on Spider-Man, which everyone is speculating on? Especially the fact that, think about it this way, all right? Let's take all this in consideration. When is the last time Spider-Man been one of the more relevant, how should they say, spoke about, characters in the Marvel Universe, even in comparison to being second to a character that was supposed to be second to him, Venom. Venom's taken off and turned into this massive cash cow for Marvel. And other than maybe a cool cover or two for Spider-Man, Spider-Man is playing second to Venom in many regards. I don't know how Marvel's taken to that. I doubt it, not very well. So I would lean towards the idea that Cates is going towards Spider-Man. I know everyone's been saying that. But more than that, I think it's a matter of refocusing back on a spotlight character. And I think that would be one of the forefront ideas that Marvel would have with a person that is bringing everything to light with whatever he touches for Marvel, if that makes sense. So I am leaning towards that. At the same point, it would be interesting to see him do something way out of norm. Gwen Stacy? Something off the wall like that would be really cool. Because he's already played with Guardians of the Galaxy, which I thought was rather interesting. That was a title that he did rather well and only received mild accolades for his contributions to that story and to the characters. How significant it is to the universe and all that, I think it was more of a decent read than it was something that people can flip on the secondary market and make value, which there's a pretty rad value to that and in it and of itself. I think my tongue just slapped me in the face and said, what are you trying to do? I am almost done with these fullbacks. I will pick it up. I actually seemingly been milking this cow. What is the other one? I've been gilding the lily. There you go. That's a saying I really love.
Yo, this robot just walking over me.
Which it's not mine. I stole it. It's from Knight's Tale. Yeah, Knight's Tale. Love that movie. Speaking of movie, I actually spoke with Dylan. Gave him a movie I would like to do a review with him on. Am I trying to get into the movie reviews? No. I've been trying to chase down 2 movies since 1996. Seriously, I'm that old. That I wasn't able to watch in their entirety back in the time that I end up seeing them. And back then, it wasn't easy to find information on movies if you already started watching it. Or if you left, you couldn't do a rewind thing like you can nowadays. Point being, I never caught the name of either movie. I was trying to chase these movies down just by the mild recall I have on the storylines. Went through those database things. I was at work the other day. I got a movie buff friend. I got a few I'm in the industry. I got a few hardcore movie buff friends. that they're, hey, I got some cool resources. So he went on to Sci-Fi Database, I believe it was, and just with the small amount of information I gave him, he was able to pull up both movies. One movie, and I'm not recommending these things. I am just telling you that I've been chasing these movies, and I've yet to see one of them. I got to see one of them. It was a little bit better, the one I saw, than I imagined. And the other one is the one that I want to watch with Dylan. So I am not going to say what the sci-fi movie is. I will make that something that will be a debut on Dylan's channel. I will say what the other one is, and then I'll give you some backstory on it. The other one is a 1996 movie called Vibrations. Vibrations is a movie about a kid up and coming rocker that loses his hands, and when all that, I'm not going to give you the whole story, but when all that happened in the movie, I was like, oh wow, as a musician myself, I was like, that'd be pretty fucked up. And as the movie was going on, I was like, you know what, this ain't really for me, not that bad. I was enjoying it. So the movie Vibrations is a Christina Applegate movie. I remember hearing about this movie back in late 93 when it was just being, actually maybe it was 92. Yeah, late 92 when it was just being thought about by Christina. And then I remember hearing I was at one of a shot, and she was talking about how excited she was. She couldn't really say the name of the movie or anything like that. But I was looking forward for it to come out. And I think in my mind, it was supposed to be out in 95. I ended up seeing it in 96, and I didn't get to see it in its entirety. So it was something that I've always wanted to see. So that was why Vibrations was a movie that I was dying to see for me. Is I worked with Christina and David and Ed and the whole gang of Married with Children. And that's where I met, I believe, yeah, Tom was on that show. And Tom and I, lighting director, Tom Marco and I, we hit it off way back when. And I think he ended up doing Who's the Boss after that. I can't remember. And then we ended up working together for years after that on General Hospital. So it was a cool thing to see because it brought back a lot of memories in the gang and all that shit. So Vibrations, that was awesome. And I've yet to see that other sci-fi movie. I did verify that is the movie. I'm opening up this box to show you what these boards are. And pardon the sound. You know what I'll do is I'm going to mute for a moment. And what I'm going to change up, I'm going to leave that conversation where I left it. And I'm going to show you this box, how it was wrapped. This thing is just, this is like a custom box for these boards. These things are fucking awesome. I want to thank Steve at Comic Clear. I'm sure he's thanking me, but no, seriously, Steve, you hooked me up. He had ran out. He scoured everything that he had, and he said, "Look, I can find 50 of these things for you, Kevin. I'll get them out there right now." And when I mean right now, it was like in real time. I swear, Steve, you mailed these things even before I paid you. I got them well before an Amazon order. How you beat Amazon, I have no idea. If you're not using Comic Clear boards, you're missing out. Comic Clear boards. It's a clear choice. So I'll end up showing you these Comic Clear boards. I do know at the moment that Steve had ran out as far as availability right now. He's only in back order mode. He will take your order. He will put you on the back order list. I do know he's trying to expedite everything he can. He's an individual that if you reach out, he will be in contact with you. I really I respect this person. I admire what he's doing. And please, if you are even mildly curious about these boards, reach out to me and or Steve at Comic Clear. If you reach out to me, if you buy a book from me, I will try to see if I can throw one of these things at you, just so you can see the quality of the board and prior in which that you want to make the investment. Do I get anything out of this? No. Hey, Kai, can you go give me some tape, please?
Oh, you need.
Other than the fact that I know that, one, I helped out a person that has a great business, great idea, and two, that I got to get across a great product to a community that I feel deserves one. And yeah, everything works out. I'm going to use a cold cliche, symbiotically. You know, it's a great relationship. And I will at some point open this damn thing. Look at that. I mean, you use regular backing board to go ahead and protect the thing. These things never come with damages. Son, may I have the tape dispenser?
Tape.
May I have? Thank you. I'm sorry. And here we go. So this is how it works out. I am using Comic Clear boards. You'll notice that there's a milk look to it. Take a piece of Scotch tape, put it on the corner, peel back. I'm going to use the same one. And that is how you peel off. And now I'm using, like I said, these, which is, I've never used these before. So I am going to use for the first time. I didn't even measure to see if this works out. So if it doesn't, that's on me, and it does. Look at that. Look at that. These things are the best. So in order, this is how it works out. I use standard. I have my separation here. I use standard silver bags from Ultapro and boards with my regular readers, my regular value books, you know, just the regular stuff that I stuff inside my box. Then when I move up to quality and books and or value, then I end up using the Mylites with the fullbacks. And with signature series books, with so anything that's been signed, anything that I have a sketch on, anything that I have a wraparound, anything that I really want to display ultra just nice. Even how another great example is the Spider-Man 55 black. I use these. You will not believe how killer it comes out because of the lack of contrast that you have on there. So highly recommend Comic Clear. This is the only bag and board I'll use for my now bag as far as BCW. This is my only combo I'll ever use as far as the high end. Again, I think someone's trying to get a hold of me. This is it. This is the way to go. So you guys get an understanding of the practice that I actually have. That's how I store my bags. That's how store my books. All right, people are reaching out to me. I'm loving it. And hey, if you haven't already, please jump on to Instagram. You know, sub up me on Instagram. Follow me. I'll follow you back. If you haven't already, find Kai and I over at 12 Comic Talk. I would greatly appreciate it. Kai and I have been on the channels now for well over a year and a half, and we're just under 400 subs. Kind of like to hit 400 subs to do another giveaway. I did one today as far as a notification bell giveaway, but I'd like to, you know, be kind of cool if we can do another one because we hit 400. What is this? The 13th. 5 weeks is going to be Kai's birthday. I have one thing in mind that I am in talk to right now with a writer of a book. Those comic clear boards look great. Yeah. Let me show you again. Las Cruces. And this is what I ask of everyone that's in the chat right now. If you want one of these comic clear boards, if you make a purchase from me when I'm on Z's show or any other show that I may be on that I am doing a sale, hit me up that you want one of these things so I can throw one of these things at you so you can see if this is something for you. You know, I really want to support Steve's business of comic clear boards. And if I can help him out like anyone else out there, that's what I want to do. So yeah, if you like to check one of these things out. I totally lost my mind. Can someone help me in the chat to tell me what the fuck I was talking about? I think it might have been important. Felt like it was. Oh, you're very welcome, Las Cruces. You know me, I try to do what I can. Yeah, I really like these things. I really, really like these things. They're the best. And like I said, I end up using them for all my signature series stuff. It looks so awesome. Some covers just look so nice when they're all, especially the wraparound, when you just look all the way around. And you know what? It's almost like a cheap route of going with a top loader because you're getting a great protection, but now you're not getting all the bulkiness of a top loader, meaning, which is, you know how that is. Your box gets filled up pretty quick when you start using a bunch of top loaders in there. And as we all complain about, it's not that we have too many books, it's that we end up losing room, running out of room. You put a bunch of top loaders into your boxes, and it's not a good thing. And with a bunch of boxes that you don't want around the house. There we go. Yeah, I end up running out of these things really quick because I was going back through a lot of my collection and going, oh, I want to use one of these. Oh, I want to use one of these. Oh, I ran out. Oh, I gotta get more. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, I want to use another one over here and here and here. Oh, well, this is a whole run of these. Gotta do it. You know, I can't just do some of them. Got to do the whole run. Oh, I ran out. So I'm hoping later on today I'm going to be on Z's channel. We are going to do, well, the goal is we're going to do play in a box and buy it your way. So that hopefully that'll end up happening today, and that'll be fun. And then yeah, that's pretty much. Oh yeah, and hopefully I need to reach out to Smiley Tori, and if you guys haven't, please check out Smiley Tori's channel. She has a very interesting topic that she ends up doing on either Fridays or Fridays or Saturdays. She does a once a week show, and it's POT culture and comics. Last week though, she was touching on a lot of music too, so it was really interesting. This week, I know we're gonna. She invited me onto the show. I believe she did. Maybe I'm being a little too presumptuous. If I am, I apologize, Smiley. I think that was the idea. Is I was supposed to be on there, and it's gonna be more of a tech. It'd be more a forensic breakdown. You know, talk. I'm losing my mind. That's the only problem is if you don't flip it over right, you can. The topic would be more the chemical breakdown, the amount of cannabinoids in there, how it reacts, how it works on the human mind, anatomy, all that. Which it's going to be rather interesting. We'll see how much we get into before we start spacing out and just talking about whatever. Yeah, when you get into the forensic aspect of it, and you start realizing some pretty cool stuff. You know, I mean, and I'm going to do a quick little analogy right now. Hopefully something that's a topic in which that I'll end up bringing on later to go ahead and correlate it with how things react differently, which is, you know, the idea behind it is to deter certain animals to go ahead and, meaning why there's THC on the plant itself, is deter certain animals from going ahead and consuming it, protecting the plants for successive breeding. Well, you know, if an animal has what it would consider a positive reaction, then it's going to go to it. In the case of this, even cultivate. Now you may go on, what was the correlative analogy? Well, we as humans wouldn't really want to play with blowfish because they're rather toxic. However, dolphins, they like to sit there and make those fuckers puff up, which is not healthy for the blowfish. They can only do it a few times in life before it makes their heart explode. You know, in most cases, depending on the breed too, that they'll make them puff up, and because of the toxins that they release, it makes the dolphins get high when they put them in their mouths and throw them around. So yeah, you know, everything out there, elephants, you know, chomping on fermented fruit, and dolphins playing with puffer fish, and people playing with a plant. It's all around the same. A little risk, a little reward, a little work, a little reward. But back to this. I just want to say my Comet Clear boards are the #1 boards for me. Steve, you're the best. I like my Mylites. I like my fullbacks. If I end up having, I notice oversized books, I end up liking use on the fullbacks and the Mylites. That is a preference of mine. Also, if you've ever had burn after which you'd already purchased your book, sometimes it's just from the quick sliding in and out of motion. I did not just do that. It's from the friction of I almost said insertion and removal. I am not trying to make this into some double entendre thing. I really am not. What I'm really getting at is what I've noticed by using these boards, due to the fact there's low friction. All right, it's a KY for your book, that it assists on when you remove the thing out of, you know what I'm getting at. I'm just hurting myself now. Everyone hit a smiley face inside the chat and just tell me that you're at least enjoying yourself, making me make a fool out of myself. Did I mention I had a long week? I think I did around 70 hours or something. I don't know. It'd be cool if there was actually a schedule, but no. In at 7. In at 9:30. Can you come in at 9? All right, back in at 7. You can do 6 days, right? All right, just making sure. No, we won't hurt you. But you got to do 13 hours today. I'm not complaining. I am not complaining. I'm just telling you I'm a little tired. Essentially is what I think I'm trying to say. I am enjoying myself hanging out with you guys. It has been almost 45 minutes. I did want to throw out a few bits of information that I had. The Ronin one was one that is going to be delayed until May. Noctera is looking to be exactly everything that I thought it was going to be. If you're not checking that out, please do so. Noctera, Snyder. You're noticing that image. I'm going to draw back the image. I did this on one of my shows earlier. Images. They're gonna make a mark this year. You know, quote me. Bring it back. Throw it in my face if I'm totally wrong. But image, you guys are doing a great job. It's great to see that you've jumped back into exactly what you guys started with in the early 90s and got all these top artists, creators, threw them back into your steed. Always had a bunch in there anyways. The fact that you're actually being ambitious to go ahead and restart a whole new superhero type realm with Radiant Black, which is looking to me is what you're trying to make the attempts to do. I applaud you for that. you know, I'm really curious to see how this all works out as far as the development of this world. I like the fact that everyone out there, as far as big writers and creators, now feel that they have a place to go beyond even other options that they've had in the past. I know as far as when I've spoken to some artists and creators, they view Image as the top tier of the artist and creator owned publishing thing. Not to say that they're any better and any worse. It's just that they how they view them as far as sales, exposure. I personally, I think it's great. I remember when Image first started. I remember what the premise was. I remember a lot of the ideas that they started with, and it seems that this is some of the ideas that I'm hearing that's being transpired now, as far as them soliciting for people to come to them. I like that because they've always stuck by their guns. If you look at what they've done in all these years, love them, hate them, they've held true to what they wanted to do. There's been jockeying in positions. Positions have changed for the better. I think right now is probably the best present lineup that you'll see in my opinion, that Image has ever had that works out for them as far as relationship with artists, creators, marketing, all that. I even the relationships that they have presently that I know of with most LCSs in my area, and when I reach out to a couple of the other areas that are near some of the major conventions, because those are the most how should I say contacted the LCSs during the time of the conventions, and some of the most traveled as far as communications, if that makes sense. You know, if there's a convention, more people tend to actually talk to the LCSs in that convention area, regardless if the convention's happening or not. It's just kind of a known fact that they have positive responses when dealing with Image. You know, you usually don't hear that printing errors, the lack of distribution, or all that is ever on the side of Image. It's pretty cool. It's a rad track record, especially with the duration of time that they've been around. So I'm not going to make you guys sit through all this. It's been a good amount of time. I do need to get a couple things done. I'm going to finish this up because
eventually
I have another, 35 more to do. But I'm not going to hold you guys up. What I want to end up telling you is that you're going to end up seeing me either later on today on Z's channel at some point in time, on Smiley's channel, more than likely. I think it's at 9:15 tonight on, again, Smiley Tori's channel. Make sure you like, subscribe to me on Entropy and Comics. Z collects Smiley Tori, TK, Batcave, Las Cruces, 1971, Mad Mike, and Gary B, the casual comic guy. Please like, subscribe to all these channels, and I thank you from me at Entropy and Comics.